I don't want to shock you or surprise any of you, but there have been times in my life when I have had a weight problem. I'm not talking about anorexia either. I kicked that one to the curb a long time ago. But in the scrapbook that my mother made for me, right next to my birth certificate, is a little card that was produced by the Pet Milk Company, which they gave to hospitals. And it says, on February 23rd, baby Robertson was born, weight 9 pounds, 10 ounces. From the second I was born, I had a weight problem. Don't tell me it's not genetic. So I've been a victim of the diet wars my whole life. I have pledged my allegiance to every regimen that's come along. You know, I've tried them all. Each one promises to make you look like a Greek god. There's a Greek god named Humongous, right? My first diet was in the late 70s. It was called the liquid protein diet. Anybody remember this? 3 times a day, you would drink a couple of tablespoons of this vile-tasting, really thick, supposedly cherry-flavored syrup that was liquid protein. It was awful. You know how they make liquid protein? They boil cow hides, down to get protein out of them. So 3 times a day, I'm taking boiled cow hides with a little bit of cherry flavor, and that's it. Did I lose weight? Absolutely. People on death row ate better than I ate. I lost weight, absolutely. Did I gain it back? Yes, and then some. But I continued to try every diet that came along. I tried the Cambridge diet, I tried the South Beach diet, I tried the Atkins diet, I tried the protein power diet. You know, I tried low fat, I tried low cal, I tried low carb, I went loco. And I learned that I can lose weight on just about any diet there is. I can lose weight. The problem is I can gain weight by watching a Bluebell commercial. And so it's been a constant struggle my whole life to try to maintain my weight. Because even if you are successful and lose a lot of weight, that doesn't end all your problems. In fact, it can give you some new problems. There was one point in my life when I dieted really successfully, and I got down to the smallest weight I had been since high school. And of course, then you need new clothes. You got to buy new clothes. I'm sort of a cheapskate when it comes to that. So I went to a men's resale shop here in Austin where they sold used clothes. But they were good stuff. They only accepted, you know, name brands and stuff like that. So I was looking through the store, trying things out and looking at things, and I came across something I really thought was beautiful. It was a navy blue, double-breasted blazer with gold buttons and lapels so wide they were in different time zones. And I looked inside at the label, and it said YSL. I didn't know what that meant. But the guy that worked at the store said, oh, that's Yves Saint Laurent. That's how you have to toss your head when you say it. Yves Saint Laurent. The famous French designer. Well, even I had heard of Yves Saint Laurent. And so I tried on this double-breasted blazer, and it just barely buttoned. It was really close. And I thought, okay, decision time. I'd never had such a prestigious garment. And I knew I was going to buy that jacket. I only needed to lose a couple of more pounds, and that thing would fit like a charm, and I would be the sharpest dressed guy in Burnett, Texas, where I was living at the time. I would walk down the street and people would say, yeah, that's Mike Robertson. Yeah, he always dresses like that. A couple of years ago, I looked in my closet, and that jacket was still hanging there. 27 years later. And I had never had it on. I had never been able to wear that jacket. It hung there as a symbol of failure. My failure to lose that extra weight. My failure to be the sharpest dressed person in town. My failure to even clean out my closet every decade or so. And I realized those initials, YSL, might as well stand for you stupid loser. Or maybe you're still large. But if I have learned anything from that whole episode, it is this. When you try to fit into somebody else's mold, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak. They always say, walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. What if those shoes are way too big? Or worse yet, what if they're too small? Did you ever walk a mile in too small shoes? Why are we so concerned about fitting into somebody else's mold? I began to realize that I was supposed to be me and not someone else. I began to realize that God had created only one of me, and that it was wrong for me to try to be someone I admired or someone I envied or someone I was jealous of their abilities. And so I began to become comfortable in my own skin. Now, you may look at me and say, well, you're not going to win the Mr. Universe pageant this year. Nope, I'm not. I'm not the ideal when it comes to looks or body mass or strength or speed or agility or any of those things. But you know what? I got a little wife backstage that thinks I'm pretty hot. And I have a daughter in college that thinks I'm actually cool. One hot, one cool. I'm balancing out, see? But best of all, I have a God who thinks I am awesome. So I've gotten comfortable in my own skin. How comfortable? Comfortable enough that last year I sent that blazer to Goodwill. I did not miss it when it was gone. It was like getting rid of a nagging voice that sat on my shoulder year after year, saying, hey, you're never going to fit into me. It was gone. I got rid of it. I have hopes that someday I'm going to stop at a stoplight. There's going to be a guy there with a sign looking really dapper. And I'm going to give him some money. I'm going to say, you are looking good, my friend. And he will say, thanks. It's Yves Saint Laurent.